Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Gamecast, episode 559. I'm one of the hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
And Tony Korkanakis.
Hello.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners and viewers, to 559 in the Gamecast. Corey's not joining us tonight, unfortunately. He'll be on hopefully next week. And so welcome to the episode. It's been a week. I haven't gotten to play any games. We talked about that in the movie cast. Like, I have been watching Demon Slayer, and I almost called it Demon Souls on the Gamecast. I almost said Demon Souls.
Are we get into that again?
After no, we're not. After that conversation last week, but so I didn't really get to play much. Like I said, I bought Cyberpunk. I installed Cyberpunk. I also downloaded. I also installed, but I haven't tried it yet, and I'm really hoping Tony's reaction does not change right now when I say I installed 12 minutes.
Okay.
Son of a bitch. No, Tony, tell me what you've been playing.
12 minutes.
Oh,
shit. No. Here we go. This is gonna be scorching.
Because I was psyched for this game. Are you kidding me?
I know. I was too.
Scorching because everyone I've heard about loves this shit. Of course, I also think this may have to do with I really wanted to be a film critic, video game journalist, itis.
Really?
Man, so like, I totally forgot about this game because they showed it off for a couple E3s, I think, at Microsoft.
Yeah, it looks so good. Yeah.
The trailer was like, I was like, wow, that's really cool. They got a prestigious cast. I mean, William Dafoe and Daisy Ridley. And then I forget the other guy. But I was like, oh, okay. And it's on Game Pass. Great. And it got pretty favorable reviews and stuff like that. I was like, all right, sure. I got a couple hours this week. Because they're like, oh, it's not too long of a game. I'm like, all right, download it, play it. And it's really excellent for the first, I'd say, 20 minutes.
More than 12.
20 minutes? Oh, it's past the first playthrough then. Okay, good.
Yeah, like 24 minutes. Where I'm like, oh, okay. Like, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Because, spoiler alert, you're in a time loop, and you don't know why.
Well, we knew that. It's not really spoiler, but yes.
I'm not for you guys, but for any listeners. It's like, all right, like you're caught in a time loop. And I've said this before. I love like Groundhog's Day shit.
Yes.
Like slowly, like you're unraveling things and you're understanding more, and then now you can
literally your background.
Yes.
Your background.
Yeah.
Is a time loop. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And then after probably the third or fourth loop, I'm just like, this is a little less fun now because first of all, the controls, at least on console, are shit. Like absolute fucking utter shit. Because like
let me get this straight. It's a mystery solving game. What do you have to do with the controls so much?
But
like what is that?
You walk around, it's like an overhead type of.
Yeah, it's an overhead.
Yeah. So
but
like
they clearly designed it for PC first. So moving the analog stick doesn't move the character around. It moves the cursor around. Yeah.
What?
Yes. Yeah.
So what moves the character?
You click, bro. You point and click.
It's a point and click.
So you move a slow-moving cursor around, click it, and that's how they walk. Okay.
Yep.
Next.
Yep. You'd think like they'd come up with like, oh, you know what? Maybe we'll change the controls for console so that you could move the character with the left stick and use the right stick to use the cursor to point at the objects or people or whatever you want to interact with. You would think, I'm not a fucking game designer or anything, but I thought of that. But these fucking people couldn't after 6 years of fucking development.
Wow.
Fuck them. Like, it's absurd. Fuck them. I'm sorry. Like, fuck them. Because I wanted to like this game. I wanted to like this game so fucking much.
We've talked about it for a while, yeah.
And again, somebody spoiled it. When they say 12 minutes, you literally have 12 minutes to do something before the loop happens, okay? And you would think...
I kind of like that aspect.
Right. I like that aspect. Yeah. I like that aspect, but once you're starting to fight the controls, and once you realize you have to go through the same dialogue conversations for multiple loops until you, like, get to the next
unlock something else,
stuff like that. It starts to become, and there's no way to skip dialogue. Like you could press,
that's
you mash on A to like.
Once you've seen it once, you should be able to mash through it.
Yeah. So again, slight spoiler alert. One of the first things that happens,
we talked about that last week and what we hate about gaming.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
One of the first things your wife does is come out of the bathroom and goes, "Oh, I didn't hear you come home," and just walk up to your character, hugs, kisses. All right. And that takes up time, precious fucking time, because you would think, oh, well, this is a nice, relaxing point-and-click adventure game. Time is not of the essence. You're fucking wrong, because you're like, oh shit, I need to do this, this, and this in this fucking loop to get whatever you need to get. And that takes a precious time. So literally, as soon as my wife walks up to me, I just mash the A button, and he pushes her away, and she goes, rude. I'm like, sorry, I don't have fucking time for this shit. Like, I need you to stop.
At least you could do that.
Yeah.
At least you can do that. That's kind of funny, actually. Is be like, why are you in such a rush? Shut up, bitch.
Yeah. So there's that. But, and then also at the same time, like, it's super, super frustrating when you're like, okay, I'm pretty sure I know what to do at this point, but then either you miss the cutoff time because you're out of time, and you're like, fuck, I got to do the whole loop over again. And in the early beginnings, you might not realize like what you did to trigger like a new conversation or a new tree or dialogue, whatever thing like that. You're like, shit, what did I do? So now you're repeating every fucking thing you did, and you're like, well, what was it? Like the game never like clues you in like what you did.
There's no like chime or something like that you've unlocked?
No,
really?
No, nothing like that.
There's no so, like, time we'll remember that?
No.
Even if it's a lie?
No. And then, oh my god, it's fucking really funny because the whole game takes place in 3 rooms. Literally. Spoiler alert. There's fucking 3
it's 12 minutes long. I mean, it can't be 3 more than that, so yes.
And I get, like, you can't obviously program for everything you would want to do, but like there's some things in the game where you're just like, why doesn't this work? Like clearly this should fucking work. Whether it's like, hey, like I should be able to stab a person. Like straight up. Like there's a knife. Spoiler alert, there's a knife in your fucking kitchen, because that's where you would find a knife. And you're like, oh, well, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to fucking, like, you guys know the general premise of the game, right?
Yes, your wife gets murdered. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So you would think, like, oh, I'll just stab the fucking guy that is going to murder my wife.
Sit at that little table at the door right there and wait for him to walk in the door and then stab him.
No. Can't do that. Can't do that. But let me tell you, like, the shit that can happen to your wife is like, it's like really borderline, like, ooh, this feels weird. And obviously it's a time loop game and that's what you're trying to solve, but it's like, ooh, like, it's a little uncomfortable and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm really hesitant to say any more than this because I feel like I'm going to turn you off to this game. I would at the very least say try to experience it, but like
play it on PC, you would say?
Yeah, if you can.
Game Pass. I mean, that's what I was going to play it on.
Yeah, but as soon as like you figure out what's going on or you make it to the reveal, for me it just lost all momentum. I was just like, really? Like, that was my reaction verbatim. Really? Like, I did an eye roll and I was just like shaking my head and I was like, okay.
Yeah. The payoff just wasn't good enough.
No, the payoff was not good enough. And then you would think, spoiler, there's multiple endings. You would think some of them might make the game better and stuff like that. Spoiler, they don't. So, I don't know. I feel like everybody that reviewed this game so positively, it's like, have you never played a fucking adventure game before? Have you never fucking played an adventure game before? The game doesn't respect you, doesn't respect your time, doesn't respect the story. Like, it's just, like, I actually want you to at least spoil yourself in the story so I can talk about it more, because it's just like, I just want to make sure, like, it's not just me. Like, am I that person? Like, everybody else loves this game but me. And it's like, am I that guy? Like, I don't know. But I just feel like most people would hate it. So, yeah, I was, like, super disappointed. Even playing it for free on Game Pass, I was like, I wasted an afternoon on this shit. And I was just like, whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. Okay. Anything else, Tony?
No, I didn't have the will to do anything else.
That just killed you. All right, Mike?
So I pretty much finished my time with Yakuza Like a Dragon. Did you go to the Millennium Tower like final challenge thing in that game at all, or no?
With the tower battle thing?
At the end, when you beat the main story, it's like, oh, you can go to the Millennium Tower, and basically it's another sort of kind of
a challenge mode. I did not do that. No, I did not do that.
I did that once, and then it's like, oh, there's another one too. I'm like, all right, that's enough. I don't need to do that. I did every side story except all the romance ones, Because all the romance ones require you to have like your personality maxed out, and I don't.
Those stats are so hard to level in that game. I would say that would be the biggest improvement to have.
You need to. I mean, I got a few up enough, but not all of them.
Yeah,
I mean, I cleared
charisma and stuff like that. Yes, your responses level it up, but
I did all of the vocational school quizzes.
Oh, see, I skipped that. I did not do the vocational school quizzes. They raised that up.
Takes money. Yeah, no, that's the quickest way.
See, I had a ton of money left over. I could go back and still do that, I guess.
Yeah. So I did that, but then I'm like, I don't really care to do any of these dating ones.
Yeah.
And so I did everything but the dating ones because some of them still don't seem to trigger right. I don't know exactly the parameters, but whatever. And then I didn't do one based on winning the Dragon Cup. Did you do that? The Dragon Cup race? Did you?
Yeah.
Beat the? Coming first in the Dragon Cup.
No.
Yeah.
No. I didn't spend enough time on that one myself, but there's a lot of side stuff I didn't finish.
Yeah. So other than that, I pretty much finished it. So I decided to move on to something else. And this is another Game Pass game that some people think is pretty shitty and some people think is great. So again, that's another controversial thing. And if 12 minutes is a bite-sized game that might be controversial or not, this is a giant-ass game that, some people will like and some won't, and it's Greedfall. Greedfall this was released a year or two ago, maybe a little more. And this was one of those where everyone, if you want to hear people say AA instead of AAA, like that, look at the coverage for Greedfall. It's developed by Spiders, which supposed to be, I don't know of them, but people seem to like them when you say their name.
Okay.
Basically what it is it's like a Victorian diet Witcher, pretty much.
Okay.
And it looks like visually, like the character models do look a little cheaper, obviously, but it's okay. I've played it a bit. I put some time in it. It's not great as far as making characters look distinct from each other, but it's pretty interesting. There's a small amount of there's a crew you develop too, and you have like a party of like 3, which is interesting. It differs it from Witcher. Otherwise, it feels a lot like Witcher. Also, similarly slow start, but I was expecting that. And I don't know. We'll see if it holds my attention. I've put in a couple days, a couple nights playing it, and it's not bad, but there's definitely a lot of content there. But it'll be interesting to see how much of like it being a AA game like gets to me or not going forward. But it's okay. It's definitely something I can put some time into. I'm curious to see if anyone would ever give it a look outside of me around here. This is the one of the games you guys made fun of because it had a cover art that looked a lot like Breath of the Wilds.
Okay. All right. I don't remember that one too much, but all right. Let's get into some news.
That is a Breath of the Wild ass fucking cover.
I know the name. I've heard the name, but
it's
they like literally did not give a fuck. Wow.
It's basically a little bit like if Dishonored Universe did a Witcher game, kind of.
Okay. Let's get in some news here and talk about. Well, I thought you were going to mention Skyrim because I'm like, that would coincide with the news we have here, which is the anniversary edition now launching on November 11th of Skyrim for the next gen consoles or the current gen consoles. Sorry, I keep saying next gen. Xbox One, Xbox Series X and God, fucking terrible name. Xbox Series X and the PS5.
Oh wow, you finally came around on that, huh?
No, it was. I never disagree with you. I go back. I never disagree with you on the terrible fucking name of Series X. I understand doing that, but honestly, the problem we have in this conversation right now is the Xbox One was the biggest fucking terrible name. It was a terrible name. And that's what's causing the problems right now, confusion-wise. If you just went with an Xbox, You'd been fine because then you could have said, okay, well, this next one's Xbox Series X, and now, okay, now I'm getting it. But now it's no Xbox One X, Xbox One S, and you're like Xbox Series X, Series S. I'm like, this is fucking confusing.
Yeah.
But anyways, so yeah, we had Skyrim Anniversary announced for these consoles, another launch of Skyrim, which is funny because I was playing Skyrim and I still have my save data, which I logged in the other day and played a little bit more of, but now I'm going to hold off and just wait. I mean, they're going to give us some upgrades, right? I mean, might as well wait a little bit.
Man, I don't know. Skyrim I liked enough, but I never got any of the DLC for it. I was kind of done with it by the time I was done with the vanilla game.
2010? Is it an 11-year-old game?
2011, around then.
Isn't it for the 10th year anniversary, or am I wrong on this one?
2011. You're right. It's 2011. You're right. It's 10-year anniversary. That's what it would be. And it's anniversary edition, so yes, not 11-year. That would make sense. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what they do with this. Whatever. More Skyrim. Not surprised.
Yeah, okay. I mean, whatever. Like, it's an acclaimed game. It's a popular game. I'm not surprised. Like, water's wet. It's like, I don't know. What's been imported more, that or Grand Theft Auto 5?
It's a fight. It's really a fight.
It's a fight.
So, Grand Theft Auto 5 is a little bit newer.
Like 2 years?
I think
by more. 2013, I think it was for Grand Theft Auto 5. I think he's right. I think it's 2 years. So,
2013?
Yeah. Let's see. Call of Duty Vanguard is the new Call of Duty coming out November 5th this year, bringing everything back to World War II again. Just people love World War II. Is that what it is? The data shows that it's successful.
I think it's the least controversial American war. So
it's the most it's the most patriotic. It's the most patriotic, get behind it kind of war. Yeah. So it's like, you can all.
It's just I mean, first of all, I'll fully admit I'm not in the target demographic for Call of Duty anymore. I haven't been in 10 years.
No.
Were you ever?
2 was my last.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved
you were shooters. You were into shooters. Yeah. Okay.
Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2. I love those, and even Black Ops I think was really good.
I don't see you as a shooter player. Like I thought, like I could see you as like the Halo player, but that's not really that's not like getting into shooters. You know what I mean? Like Battlefield, you're never into, and
no. I mean, I'm not, but like it was just one of those things that was the era, like the peak 360 era, where it's like that's what everybody did. Like me, Happle, Buddha.
Okay. Modern Warfare,
stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, me too. Like I wasn't really into that, but I played Halo and I played Modern Warfare 1 and 2.
Well, I mean, everybody played Halo. So I'm like, Modern Warfare was, you know what I mean? Like everybody played Halo. So I don't consider myself a shooter fan. Actually, I guess I would have been.
Whole perk thing, kind of standard. Yeah. Online shooters.
I don't know. I mean, I played Battlefield. I probably played a lot of shooters actually, and I don't consider myself a shooter fan.
I guess Battlefront is kind of a shooter too.
Yeah, it is. No, not kind of. It is a shooter, Mike.
Yeah,
it literally is what it is.
There's a lot of alternate means of attacking in that.
Okay, it's still a shooter, but all right. What else we got here?
Hold on, before we move off from this. So one interesting thing to note is Activision has taken off all the Activision logo off the branding for this Call of Duty.
Yeah, I think they're worried about their own name. Like, we're going to get into that. Wait, let's go into that now. Let's just tie that into this news about the lawsuits and stuff. But like, I wanted to talk about this, and I'll mention the lawsuit right now, which California updates the lawsuit against the Activision-Blizzard, where it says that there were sexual harassment claims that were dropped or trashed, basically sent to HR that were just trashed. And so that's really what the lawsuit's about, which is fucking stupid. Like, I mean, how bad of a company are you that your HR is just throwing out legitimate claims of issues and you're just fucking, again, I've said it on this podcast, ostrich head in the sand, or they shredded it. They didn't even put the head in the sand. They just destroyed the evidence.
Oh, yeah. I just assume it's them in training, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, but so my issue with this whole thing is this. Like, here's my problem. Do you buy a Blizzard game? No. Okay, just hear me out. Because if you don't, aren't you causing the people that are good to lose their jobs?
That's why I said before.
Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Like, I know
The
everybody's saying
employees are fucked either way. Let's be honest about that. I mean, we've talked extensively about how even after what was it, two years ago when Activision-Blizzard had the most profit ever, they still laid off like 200 Blizzard employees or something stupid like that.
I get you there.
So regardless of what happens, even in their most profitable year ever, they still laid off employees. The employees are going to be fucked no matter what. There's never going to be 100% security until they get become unionized and stuff like that. So the question now is not, is it for the employees? Is it, do you want to give Bobby Kotick fucking money at this point?
I don't. And like, don't get me wrong. I don't want to. Until he leaves, which he's not going to. I don't want to buy a single game. Like Diablo 2, I was interested in. I would love to play it, and I don't want to buy it. But like, am I hurting people that have put time and effort into this game that I want to play, but their heads are pieces of shit, and I don't want to support those?
See, I think if you want to play it. I think.
No, you have to make a statement. Like, but what kind of
you buy
the
Nike
problem is
stuff?
No,
do you own Nike things? Like,
no, I don't. I don't buy Nike stuff. Actually, Mike, I don't. I have Skechers.
You that route. Well, you research every company you buy something.
I'm sure I have problems, yes, with Skechers, but I'm just saying I don't buy Nike. But I'm telling you, like,
it's not.
This is
not
fresh.
Your job
this is known, and this is
that. Like, that's what governments, honestly, and that's what's happening here, are supposed to do.
But I think if you speak with your wallet, it helps.
That's what I've always said. How many years have I said that? Vote with your wallet.
Yeah, I understand. I understand.
But like, it's also not your job to.
It's not my job. I want to do it.
That's fine. But if you want the game, I think you can divorce that from how it was made.
I don't want to buy a game to support the heads of Blizzard and Activision. I don't want to until they make massive changes into their company. I don't want to.
The game will still be there in 10 years, Jim. That's my.
Yeah, I know, and I'll probably get on Game Pass for free. But then, do you play it? It's free, but you are giving them a cut.
Yeah. I mean, it's an individual thing. Like, I mean, look, I'm never buying an Activision Blizzard game again until I feel more comfortable that they have made drastic sweeping changes from top to bottom.
That was my statement right away from this. I agree with you, Tony, 100%. Yeah. Like, I agree with you, but then I'm like, are we hurting the people that work there by not buying the games? Because they get incentive-based bonuses.
It's possible,
They may be, but honestly, again, at this point, like, I'm sorry, their jobs were shitty anyway to begin with. Like, again,
I know
that. Highest profit ever.
Your decision, though, that their job is shitty. Like, maybe
it doesn't
they don't
change the fact that they're missing out on money they need for their livelihood. Like, they're on their ass, right? They need that bonus.
It's not. Like, but the same person that Mike just said, it's not my job to employ them.
Yeah, I know. Well, at the same time, like, so it's like selecting. That's why once you go down this route, it doesn't really hold up.
Sometimes you need to burn everything down to start over fresh.
I mean, Kotick has to step down. I mean, I'm tired of this shit. Like, he's the head of the snake.
I mean, so, I 100% agree with you, but the unfortunate thing is because so much evidence is on Blizzard, all he got his hands off. Fired Blizzard CEO and replace it with 2 co-leaders. Whatever the fuck that means. Insert the Office quote from Oscar. It's like, oh yeah, name all the presidents that blah blah blah. All the countries led by 2 people, stuff like that. Like all he's doing is instilling more influence and more control over Blizzard, which to me it sucks. But I mean, whatever. They're again, the employees are fucked no matter what.
I understand that. It's like it ties into the Outriders news where they aren't getting their bonuses because Square said the game did not sell enough, and yet it sold really well apparently, but it's not enough. You know what I mean? So it goes back to this whole thing again. Unions. I think I'm not a huge guy for unions. I'm not. Like, I would admit that in a second. But there are aspects of life where they're required. Like there should be certain areas that have unions. I'm not saying everybody needs to be a part of a union, but
aside from video games, they're like almost every other entertainment medium.
Yeah, like
very
exactly. Well, there's that. I mean, there's large groups of people. Like, I mean, I remember being part of a union when I was working for like AMP, like which is a shop, right, or like a grocery store. I was a union. I didn't want to be a part of it, but I had to pay for it when I was a kid. But like, so certain times I get it. Like, there's aspects of life where it dictates you need to be a part of a union, and I think game developers they should be unionized. I think that we've seen enough evidence now where they're getting shit on no matter what they do, and I think that's the only way you fix this problem, because I feel bad not buying a game, because I agree with you, Tony. Like, I completely agree with you. I don't want to buy a game. I don't. Like, I wanted to play Diablo 2, but I don't want to play that game. I don't want to see Blizzard's logo right now. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to support that shit.
Right, because here's the thing. All right, if you buy the game, all you're doing is proving to not only Activision, Bobby Kotick, that it doesn't fucking matter what happens, they can get away with it and still make a profit. And the downside is, if enough people take a stand, which they are, because they would never remove the Activision logo from Call of Duty prior to this. Never.
Oh, I know.
Never in their fucking, 12, 13 year of Call of Duty at this point? Maybe more. I don't know when the series started. Like, they've never done that. So obviously they're fucking scared, because this is a big issue. Like, it's being covered by not just gaming journalism. It's being covered by, New York Times, Bloomberg, even like.
I would say most of that is due to the lawsuit, though, more than people aren't buying things. Like, I'm not sure that's one.
Absolutely, but I mean, it has to all come together at some point. You just can't have that much bad press where it doesn't affect.
Sure, but also, the lawsuit is also a big financial problem for them as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I know that, but
that's certain.
Right, but the thing is, it's up to the individual. Like I in addition to like not buying Activision Blizzard products, I even install my launcher. Like, I don't want to contribute to their monthly active users, which, by the way, they're down 50% in the past 3 years.
They should. Yeah, I mean, they've been going down anyways, but now they should have lost a lot in the last month or two, I bet.
Yeah.
If I was playing that game right now, I would have stopped playing it.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I'm, it's at the point where, like, even side-eye now, people who are like, oh, I'm still subscribed to WoW, and like, oh, I'm still playing Overwatch. I'm just like, all right, bro. It's like borderline right there with like the anti-vaxxers. Maybe that's a controversial statement to say, but it's like, man, you just like really.
I would never go that far. I would never say you can't enjoy what you enjoyed because someone involved in it is a douchebag.
But it's not just someone; it's an entire company then.
But it's not the entire company. It's like a handful of people.
I'm sorry, it's the entire leadership organization and HR.
Maybe, but
the heads.
Yeah, I mean I mean, the thing is like this issue trickles down to so many different individuals that are at the top that it's like the whole top needs to be cut off.
You know,
the whole thing.
If you want to play Diablo 2, fucking pirate that shit. Pirate it. Pirate it.
I thought about that actually today. I'm like, that would show them, but I haven't done that in years. So I'm retired.
How do I even do pirating these days?
I'm a retired pirate. I drank all the rum.
Yeah.
So but I just I don't know, man. I agree with you. It sucks. It really does, because I want to support the people that put their blood, sweat, and tears into the game, that run it, like they're developing this game, and to not buy their product because of what their fucking their heads have done it's an insult to them, and I feel bad.
It is, but
I
Tim,
understand.
At the same time, again, point one, they're gonna get fucked no matter what. Like they honestly are. They're always going to be the first people to get fired.
Bonuses go to the top. We know that.
Bonuses always go to the top and stuff like that. But like also, at the same time, it's like one of those things where like, you know what? Sometimes you need to have something bad happen to you, where it's like, and I'm not victim blaming, but it's like, if you're in a toxic work relationship, just like a real relationship, it's like, wow, like maybe the fucking game industry is fucked. Maybe Activision Blizzard does suck. Maybe I do need to leave, because how many years have we talked about this? Even ever since Jason Schreier's first fucking book. I mean, Diablo 3, they covered it, how much of a disaster Diablo 3 was and stuff like that. Like, you can't be like, okay, well, I want to support the developers, because at the end of the day, they're going to get fucked either way.
I know. That's true. So, well, I'm not playing Diablo. All right.
You'll find a new game.
No, I will. I'll be fine. I mean, listen, I played hours of Diablo anyways. Diablo 2, it's not going to change the actual story of the game. So
yeah, and it'll be there in a few years if hopefully things change for the better. Because and I'll point to the cynical people out there. Like Riot had this a couple of years ago, and I think it was Kotaku who did like a follow up after a year or two, and they said that the most employees actually did feel like things were changing for the better. So it's like, hey, you know what? These lawsuits do help, and voicing our concerns does help, and boycotting does help in the long term. Yeah, in the short term, they might lose on some bonus or some shit, but hey, you got to just figure out what you're willing to do for it.
Yeah. All right. Other news. Is it better news? Yes, it's better news, but it's not much better. Halo Infinite won't have a co-op campaign at launch, and Forge. The Forge won't be at launch. They're going to basically make this a single player by itself only game. By the way, today they had Gamescom. We're going to get into that in a second, with no release date for this yet, and that's crazy at this point. But so Infinite, which is coming in hot, is not going to have its famous co-op mode, which Corey and I have played. I think all of the Halos, we've played all the Halos on the hardest difficulty since Halo 1 as co-op. Him and I have done this since, as a tradition. Him and I do this constantly. That's why I said I'm not playing the single player campaign. I won't do it because Corey and I have done this traditionally since we were kids. 2000 and whatever it was, playing Halo, and to not release its co-op campaign at launch it's just terrible. I'm sorry, but just delay the game then. Just delay the game.
I don't know. I don't know how many people actually do that. I don't know what percentage.
I don't know what it is either, but I'm one of those people where it's going to be cut out. So, like I said, I'll play. I will probably play multiplayer with you guys and just try it out.
Yeah.
It does seem like we might get what I misunderstood as real. Some musings we had where it literally launches where it's just the multiplayer, not even the regular campaign.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. That's what I said. I said that last year at fucking E3. I was like, there's no way after the backlash and they're like, we're delaying it. I was like, there's no way in 1 year you're fucking drastically revamping a whole ass game to the point where it's like, hey, it's not meme material. Because I think we all agreed, like Halo Infinite showing at last E3, not this most recent, but 2020's E3.
2020,
was borderline Mass Effect Andromeda levels of cringe, right?
It was bad. There's no question about that. I would probably put it on the same level. Yeah, I'd probably put it on the same level.
It wasn't glitchy or shit, but it just looks so fucking bad.
It looks horrible.
Right. But there's no way to fix that in 1 year.
In COVID year. It could in 1 year they could do it with crunch, but not with COVID year.
No, especially not with COVID. But then you fucking had it's like there's no way they're gonna do this. It's gonna be multiplayer only again. The closer we get, like I said, holiday 2021, whatever the fuck that means. You think between the time of Thanksgiving and New Year's? I don't know, man. I would think if it was launching any time in November.
It's not November.
We would know about it by now because retailers have to fucking know this shit.
I think if this game comes out this year, it's December 10th.
Yeah.
I think it's somewhere in there is the.
Unfortunately, this reminds me a bit of Cyberpunk's release. Yeah. How they're like, oh yeah, well, it'll be holiday or that year, and then it was December 30th. They ended up pushing it to, and then of course it still was not good.
Honestly, I completely get launching the multiplayer this year, and I would say that's probably ready by November. I bet you that's ready to go. Launch that in November.
We've seen they've had their tests, their beta or whatever.
The alphas, they're in the alpha of that. Yeah. Beta might be coming out now, but that game is ready for multiplayer, and that's fine. So launch it. It's Halo anniversary, but November 10th. What is that, the anniversary? I think that they could easily launch this game then in multiplayer only, and then just make the campaign March of next year.
Honestly, the thing is, I wish they would just fucking come out and say this, because the closer you're getting to the launch point of whatever Halo Infinite will be this year, the less chance people will be angry about it. No matter what, people are going to be angry.
Just come out and say, listen, listen, you come out at Gamescom, for instance, this would have been good. Come out at Gamescom and say, listen, multiplayer is ready to roll. We're coming out November 10th, 2021. Single player is going to need a little more time in the oven. We're going to come out next year, early next year.
Yeah.
Just say that. That's it. That's it.
Free to play versus bought, even though everyone is going to play it on Game Pass anyway. But so it's already a separate thing that they're planning to do with it. So
exactly. Just if you present it that way, I think everybody's I completely understand in this environment having to delay the game again, especially when it looked like it did.
It would be a bad look though if they delayed it completely and be let's delay the multiplayer with it too, because it seems like that should be ready. just based on how
But
they've
that seems so much closer. Like
Yeah.
that definitely
I
seems like it's ready.
understand, but there might be some executive who's just like,
Yeah.
oh, we can't separate these things. Like
Sure.
that might be a thought, and that would
sure.
be it.
Sure, but at that point, I would say just be like, hey, we're having like, sorry, guys, like COVID messed us up, just like it did everybody else in the industry, basically.
Exactly.
And just like, hey, look, we're gonna have an open beta from November until the launch of the official product of Halo Infinite, free, open beta, and then offer some fucking, I don't know, skins or battle pass or some bullshit. It doesn't cost them anything whenever the game officially does launch. And just be like, guys, like, look, we're sorry, like it happened. We're really ambitious with our thing, and COVID development didn't help, and just delay it to fucking Q1 or Q2 of 2022. But like, the sooner you get this information out there,
be honest with the situation. Like, come out and say, listen, guys, this is Halo. It's our biggest game.
Yeah.
It's their biggest game. We want to get it right.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah,
we wanna get it right.
some scary parallels to Cyberpunk right now. December 30th.
It does seem very close to Cyberpunk. You're right. Right now, it does seem like they're just pushing it out the door.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. I mean, on this very podcast, on multiple occasions, I have said Phil Spencer's been great for Xbox, and he's made his presence known. And if they push this game out the way it is, I think that undoes everything again, it's back to money. Like, it's Cyberpunk again, like you said, Mike. It's right back to Cyberpunk. It's launched again, not finished, incomplete game. They're gonna patch it as they go, just like Cyberpunk did. It may not be as broken as Cyberpunk, who knows? Could be. But it's the same formula, same exact formula.
Cyberpunk did release its first content DLC, which was like 2 jackets and like a hat or something.
Yeah, I saw that.
There's one new car. Yeah, there's like.
It's such a shame. It really is. I don't want to detract too much from the Halo conversation, but like picking up my copy of Cyberpunk, which I almost like rewalked that back because I was like storming on Sunday because we're in the Northeast. I was like, I really don't want to get wet to leave my car, walk into the Best Buy just for this fucking game, which I'm not going to play for at least a year, I imagine. So I was like, and by that time it'll definitely be $10 again. But I was like, whatever, like I'll just fucking do it. But like just picking up the box, and like that's the aspect of CD Projekt Red I appreciate, because my understanding is even Witcher 2 and 3 were like this, where like you get stuff with your game. You get
a lot of extra.
Yeah, like that is so cool, and I love and I appreciate that. It's just like, damn, it's really fucked up on this.
Well, I mean, again, they were everyone's darlings.
Yeah, they were, and I even got into an argument with somebody on Twitter about this, like literally this past weekend. And they're just some CD Projekt Red fanboy. I'm like, whatever, man.
I mean, that's it. There's the diehards. I'm never convinced they did anything wrong. Yeah. To this day, it's a good game, and I'm like, well, I haven't played it, so I can't say anything about it. So we'll see.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything about. Like, I honestly do. I really do. Just want to give it an additional year or something like that. Fix all the bugs. Fix all the patch in some more content, and have the best experience I can.
I think if it's the same experience I had right now, just without any glitches where it crashes, it's an okay game.
Yeah,
it's not
like
great.
Seven? Is that what you put it?
I could give it an 8. But
really?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I put in 120 hours into it.
Okay.
Wow.
Although a lot of I'm slowing down and looking at menus, so the world didn't crash. But
I mean, quite honestly, I'm gonna give 12 minutes a try. I'm still gonna finish up Scarlet Nexus, and then I'm playing Cyberpunk. So that's my order right now, unless something comes out, which I don't plan on. And in fact, in October, it's Metroid. There's zero doubt in my mind it's Metroid. So that's happening, and then maybe I'll get the Cyberpunk after that. I don't know. But
by then, that's supposed to be the next gen update. Then.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you play it on your Xbox Series X.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, Gamescom's going on for Microsoft. Gamescom's going on for everybody, but Microsoft had their little announcements today, and I'm actually rewatching it right now. Forza Horizon 5 was shown. The Forza company, like those guys, that team, that can make some games, especially now they have the hardware behind them. 60 frames per second Horizon game, which historically has been 30 frames, which has always been my gripe with that game. Racing games, without a doubt, 60 frames are just so good. After you experience it once, you just can't go back to that 30 frames.
Jim, I'm so happy for you, man. I'm so happy.
I know. I've learned. I have evolved. My levels have gained so much on this podcast. Anyways, no. But I frames. I mean, it just adds so much.
It does. It really, it's night and day.
Yeah,
night and day.
Yeah. I mean, this game looks so good, and I cannot wait to play this. Especially, it's a Game Pass game. Like, I mean, everybody, Tony, you can try this game out finally and experience an open world racing game, which I like, and I don't like open world games. The Horizon games are so much more fun than just the Forza games, because the Forza games are like, okay, here's racing, here it is, this is fun, like, and then you get tired of it. The Horizon games, like, okay, well, I'm gonna go see what this fuck's over here, because
it's like exploration racing. Like I'm saying, I always loved like I can appreciate, like, I remember back in the day, like I got like Gran Turismo 3 for like $10 or something, like, just because, like, you know what, it visually looked great, like the cars look stunning and stuff. I'm not into cars at all, but like I was just like, oh, the game looks good, the graphics are good. And that was back in the PS2 days. And like now it's like, Forza, Gran Turismo nowadays is like mind-boggling. It's a visual spectacle, you know. So for Game Pass, it's a no-brainer.
It's gonna be awesome. They're bringing out a limited edition controller, which people loved. It's a clear controller with some like spray paint mixed onto it. Yellow, not clear, but yellow spray paint.
Real quick aside, I love the late '90s aesthetics where Nintendo and other companies did like the whole like colored, clearish
that's what they're doing
controllers
here,
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You guys remember that?
The purple.
Yeah, atomic purple Game Boy.
Yeah, absolutely. N64.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love this. I love that aesthetic, and I wish more people would do that these days. And stuff.
Or like this color kind of purple.
Yellow. Yeah. Well, this yellow is awesome. See through, like you can see the workings with our controller now. It's so good. But they showed Dying Light 2. Which is a game. I think, Tony, you played Dying Light, right? That was the one you played?
Yeah. I love Dying Light. That was my first true like next gen experience for the PlayStation 4. I love that game.
So they showed that. They didn't have many surprises. That is going to be, I believe that is Game Pass. Let me double check. Oh, I don't know. They didn't write it here.
Yeah, that's fine.
It may not be Game Pass, but it's on here. They give the gameplay trail. I thought it was Game Pass. I really did. So we'll see. Flight Simulator stuff, an update for that. Another rogue light style game, Into the Pit, is Game Pass day one. Humble Games they're making a whole bunch of pixel games, which looks so awesome. I love pixel games. Are like that vintage stuff that you just like. I don't know. They look so good. Like I just love pixel games. It brings me back. Like that's what Streets of Rage brought me right back to that. So
I played Sonic Mania again after listening to all the music videos.
There you go. There's another one. Yeah. So you got that. Oh, and then I think the biggest news here, Mike, for you, who has an Xbox One, is and Tony, you have an Xbox One, right? Cloud gaming is coming to the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X, which I'm not sure why you would want that. But it is coming to the Series X as well by the end of the year. Right now it's out on phones and PC. So you can stream games, which it's included in Game Pass Ultimate, which is what most of us have anyways right now. So there's no extra fee. And you can stream Series X games to your Xbox One. So, Mike, again,
no reason.
There's really not much of a reason. As long as you got the bandwidth, not much of a reason.
We'll see.
So.
Although I would need to upgrade to Ultimate because I'm never going to play on the PC, but I'm like, now there's a reason, I guess, to do Ultimate.
Yeah. So I have Ultimate right now. That's why I renewed on my stuff. But yeah, I get you. Yeah. So, so it'll be holiday 2021 for that one. But yeah, so 100 plus games from the cloud consoles. 1080p 60 frames per second is the target, which as long as they make 60 frames, you can play like Horizon 5, you can play a lot of these games just straight to your series, your Xbox One, which you can play anyways, but not at 60 frames. So, all right, what else? I think that was about it for this. There's like Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2 DLC for both of those. Stray Blade is a third-person action RPG coming in 2022. Not much shown for that. And Crusader Kings is next gen, but that's about it. Not much for the Gamescom stuff, but all right. And that's it for the news. We're done. That's the end of the podcast. Thanks for tuning in. You can write us allyoucangeek@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe, hit the like button as well. Leave a comment for us. Have some conversation with you guys in the comments, I promise you. So leave a comment and, or ask us a question. We'll read it on the podcast. If you have not yet, last week we did What We Hate About Gaming. Check it out. We had a lot of fun with that episode. It was really fun. Really good finish. Next week, when we get Corey back, Full Strength Podcast, we will try to do what we love about gaming, just to kind of right the ship so you guys don't get too angry at us about what we hate. So tune in next week. That's a little teaser. See you guys soon.